Welcome back to the Time Warlords for a special review. We've got the Grave Calls, a special 9th Age event in Newcastle, and we're really excited. It's next week, and we're going to take you through the matchups, the lists, and talk with our tournament organizer in a second, Tim. So, just a
Morning,
reminder,
Chris. How you doing?
good on you, buddy. He's joining us today. And we love our events. We just want to remind, all our crowd, we've got a fantastic crowd of people who come to our events. And we really do try to focus a lot on our hobby and being a bit more casual rather than competitive. So that's kind of our promise. And in the future, I'm sure we'll get some great shots of all the great work that people have been doing with their armies. So I'm going to throw it to Tim now. He's going to talk a little bit about the end of an era.
Yes, we'll be holding this in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia, and it's part of the Castle Assault 2025. Castle Assault is run by the Newcastle Legion Gaming Club. Every year around about this time, they do a fantasy version, which is this weekend, and they do a 40K version. But yeah, the venue that they normally go to is the Gallipoli Legions Club. It's going through renovations. I believe it's been sold. So not sure what it's turning into. It'll certainly be under renovation while we're there. It's sort of we're getting a bit of a hall above a construction site sort of thing. So it'll be a bit different to normal. I'm sure the Newcastle Legion Gaming Club will continue on as a club. I'm not sure in what capacity that will look like, but it's a little bit of an engineer. I think we've been sort of going to this Legion Club. It's got to be at least a couple of decades now. So it will feel strange to go back to tournaments in Newcastle and maybe not use this venue. We'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get to use it again. But yeah, it might not be called the Gal anymore. But yeah, if you want to go back to the dates, Chris, so I can run you through the event dates. Yeah, it's the 16th and 17th of August. Next Saturday and Sunday. We're doing third edition, 2-day tournament, which is strange because uh, the Grave Calls 1 and the Grave Calls 2 were only sort of 1 days, 3 rounds. And yeah, we've sort of gone up to the big boy 2 days here. But we are just taking it a bit more relaxed. We're doing 4 rounds instead of the typical five you get over 2 days. 4,500 points, which is probably 500 points extra, slightly bigger armies than you get in third edition. But to compensate for that, we're going 3 hour and 15-minute rounds. So it should be a bit more casual, a bit more relaxed, give you a bit more time. You're not doing the 2.5 hour rush rounds, give you those extra 45 minutes. You'll finish early, you can have a few more beers, so it should be a good day. Yeah, good weekend. All right,
Awesome, and
should we
I
move
think
on
you,
to.
yeah, all good.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
I was just going to say, you're probably going to see a few more toys being brought out as well, as we'll see later on. All right, ready to go into
Yes,
round one?
sure. Yes. All right. So round one, yes, we've I think I just rolled these up randomly and stuck them on the pack. We've got Cornerstone there. So yeah, 12 inches from the center, but I think you have to deploy your most expensive rank and file unit first, and then you have to have sort of equal amount of units deployed on each side of the middle line there. So it's a bit of an interesting deployment. Didn't really want to put this in round two when maybe people have had a few more drinks. So we use the more complicated ones, I guess, in the first round where everyone's a bit more aware, I guess. And then the objective there will be secure targets. So it looks like you are placing markers along the center line, and yeah, you get whoever gets the most markers in rounds 3 and 6 will win that one. So again, probably not the most straightforward one, like getting to your opponent's deployment zone or capture the center. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll get all the tricky ones out of the way round one when everyone's sort of sorting it out. Yeah, so it should be a good time.
No, fantastic. All right, so we're going to now have a look. We've got a special round one. So Tim's going to talk to us
Yes.
about our special round one. We're going to go through all the matchups in a second, but can you please? This is
Yes.
not the actual shield, but Tim, introduce us to the shield, which is we're still pending a name, right?
Oh no, I think we stuck with something simple. I think it's called the Ninth Age Australia Shield. So yeah, we had all
Fantastic.
these sort of fancy names flying around, and we just sort of went with something basic. But yes, uh, yes, a shield. We're going to introduce a shield into the events. Thank you very much to Complete AV for sponsoring this and putting together the shield. So what we're going to do with the shield is basically each event will maybe come up with some sort of way the shield can be won by, I guess, an individual or a team or a group, something like that. So for this one, because we've got exactly half players coming from Sydney and Melbourne, sort of major cities in Australia, we've got half the players coming from outside those cities, which is still in big cities of their own, but not as big as Sydney and Melbourne. We're doing the city versus country round in round one. We're doing a city versus country shield. And so, yeah, all our round one, I had to sort of move a couple of the matchups from what New Recruit randomly generated will be someone from either Sydney or Melbourne versus someone from Newcastle Central Coast. And we'll basically take the total of both sides, and whoever wins that, or city will win or country will win, basically, and it'll be put on the plaque.
Mm-hmm.
The plaque at the moment just says city and country round one,
Mm-hmm.
TGC three, but it'll get updated to say who won that round, and then yeah, that'll just be one of the plaques on the shield. We'll just give the shield to whoever runs the next event, and they can get another shield engraved on it, so another little plaque. So yeah, it'd be something you could sort of. We'll have to work out who takes it home. Let's see who wins.
Looking
Who do you
forward
think
to
will
it.
win?
Sounds
The
great.
city guys or the country guys?
Yeah, and we don't often get. I know we often have round one grudges as a very common thing, but usually the grudges end up being people who haven't played each other for ages. So this kind of sorts that out pretty quickly because at least in person anyway, playing each other, it
Yeah,
won't be the people from different cities. So I just thought that
that's
would be a
right. Yeah,
fun way
sure.
just to get it out of the way. But also, I think it's a pretty good. I think it's a pretty good back and forth because there's a few pretty good players on each side. So it'll be interesting to see. So if you're
Yeah,
ready,
well, I
Tim,
follow the Newcastle.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, mate. I was just
you
gonna say
fall
I
into
follow
the
some of the
Newcastle.
Newcastle
You're the buy
guys.
buster, just so people know.
No,
But
no.
but
Yes,
you'll
that's
yeah.
right. Yes. They're playing each other all the time, so they've probably got
If
a lot more practice than
yes, if the
if I
12th
was to
player
play
was
one. Yeah,
coming though, Tim, you would not. You would be on the city side. You'd be on the city side with
that's right.
us.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you're straddling the fence. Oh goodness. Good to
Sure.
go round one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
All
do it.
right, so I will take us through. We've got a little intro slide for each table. We've got 5 tables at the moment, and we've got our army list. So let's go to table one. So this one, again, I love this one because Tim lent me the Ninth Age novel, and the Ninth Age novel has a lot of background about the undying dynasties versus their hated foes, the Covenants. So it's going to be Brendan bringing his UD versus Jack with his VC. All right, now it's taken me a while to figure out what on earth UD do, but I think I've figured it out. So, Brendan has got pretty nice magic setup. So he's got the Death Cult Hierarch there with the Sacred Hourglass and the Conduit. Not a master, just an adept. And he's got the double no marks, so those guys are going to push out 5-up regen. He's got, just to go with that, double Shapti blocks. So the Shapti is strength 5 base, and they have got 8 models each, so that pretty darn solid units there. And then he's got some archers, he's got some ambushing chariots, but he's also going to have the double scorpion. He does have a single catapult, some cataphracts, and a sphinx. So he's got a few shenanigans in there, some scouts. So he's got a bit of. Well, I mean, a lot of the army, honestly, is going to be able to block and chaff, which is cool. And he's coming up against Jack. Now, Jack's coming up from Melbourne, absolute legend. I'm going to pick him up at the airport on Friday. He's got a dragon, so a few dragons you're going to see throughout this. It's not the old world. Don't blink. It's just. More points means more fun. So there's a vampire count on a dragon. He can get wounds back on a 4+ in combat, so that's pretty great. He can do a fair amount of damage. But then he's also got the Strig. So he's got a Strig Courtier with the parry item. Now, this is going to be nasty. He's got a 40-man ghoul block, okay, with that Strig in there. They won't have the super poison, but still really good in their own, on their own. It's just a skeleton block there, probably just a bit of a chaff block there. Dire Wolves for chaff, and 8 Gas, so that's another big tanky unit. 14 Baronites, big tanky unit. He's got the Cadaver Wagon, so that Cadaver Wagon is going to buff the Gas and the Ghouls, so he'll probably have that smack bang in the middle, give him a really good regen buff. Oh man, they're going to be tough to get through. And just when you thought it was over, he's got triple Varkalak, which is something I've run before and I absolutely love. Yes, so I think this matchup's going to kind of depend on Brendan's ability to really be effective with his ambushes, because he's not going to be able to. He's got his 2 Shapti blocks. He's got some good flankers, but the ghouls and the ghasts and the baronites are going to be really tough. So I'm not sure. I think the VC probably had a bit of a power advantage because they've just got a lot of staying power with that regen that I mentioned. I don't see any flaming anywhere on Undying Dynasties unless the catapult, I think, has flaming, so that's something. So I'm kind of leaning towards VC. Tim, did you have any thoughts on this one? It's the undead versus undead, which we would in the past think of as an absolute dreg of a matchup, but this looks like it's going to be a bit of fun and a lot of movement.
I know Brendan's got 2 Sphinx. He usually runs both Sphinxes, but I guess he's just gone the one. He's been nice to us, but it's interesting that both both armies have the sort of 8 big man blocks with the Shapti and the Gas. I'm going to go with the Jack with the Dragon. Yeah,
it's going to be a pain, isn't it? The Dragon, is the X factor, isn't it? Sure. Brendan does normally bring the king, so it's probably hurt him. Pains him a bit to not bring his Pharaoh, on top of the Shah Guardian, I think it's called. So, yeah, I think this is still pretty good. He really is going to have a lot of ambushing shenanigans, so should be fun. All right.
Yeah, it should be a fun round.
Yes, I think we've got everything there. Light magic setup either way, but I know UD do have a lot of magical tricks. I know he doesn't have his again, so many good choices in the books. He doesn't have his what's the name of it? Not the altar with the magical buffs that has bounce spells. Gosh, it's escaping me now. But the a few things that he normally wouldn't take. So interesting to see. Table 2. So table 2, we have Hugo, who I have been assured was totally not late in his list submission and will take a points deduction, versus Dylan with the Saurian Ancients. Oh, and I'll mention this before I go ahead.
Maybe he just needs to replace the batteries in his war clock or something like that.
Sure.
He might have been running 5 minutes slow, the war clock on that one. Yeah.
Sure. I'll mention before we go ahead all the artwork straight off the original 9th Age artwork. So fantastic stuff. It's all off the website. So give them kudos for their awesome artwork. Now, Hugo's pretty much running something very similar to what he's run before. It is something similar to what I've run, except he's got a kind of triple monster thing going on. If you look there, we've got Hydra, Colossal Kraken, and Mist Leviathan. He loves that triple monster combo. And then he's got pretty much the rest of his army is chaff, which is hilarious, except for the spear block. So he's got lots of small units. I like the Banner of Erlane on the Knights, which just gives them double attacks on the charge. He's got a Wizard Master Evo, which has got Spectral Blades, which pretty much is going to help any unit in his army hit like hell, as well as Corsairs with repeater handbows. They're really nice. They've got stand and shoot, 2 shots on a 4-up with AP 1 when you charge them, so be careful of that. That's nasty. Especially because I can see Dylan does not have any skinks. Yes, there are no skinks in that army besides the ones on top of the Taurosaurs. So you can correct me what the correct name for skinks are, but yes. Are they still called skinks? I don't remember. Saurian Ancients have...
I'll frantically look it up.
Yeah, go for it. So they've got the Archmage with a bunch of awesome stuff. I haven't gone through all of the items. Rest assured, they will be very powerful in terms of magical supremacy. So he's got Master Alchemy, 30-man Tegu with Rending, 30 Tegu again, 8 Raptor Pack, who I'm pretty sure hit pretty decently as well. Big unit of Cayman Elders with some more spells, just because he needed some more spells. 25 Tegu Guard with the Stone. And the dreaded Stygiosaur. I've been assured the Stygiosaur pack hit like hell. They've got Hatred, they've got Poison, they've got a very good stat line as well. And the double Taurosaurs with the great bows. So some really good support monsters there as well, along with the impact hits and all that good stuff that they bring. Tricky one, this one to think about. Very strong combat bricks, very strong players, not a lot of chaff on the Saurian Ancient side, so Hugo's going to have a distinct advantage there. So it'll be a really interesting one. Again, every time I play Dylan, he's a really good player as well. Hugo's a very good player, so this will be a great matchup to watch. All right, Tim, anything else for that one? Did you find out what skinks are called yet?
They are, yeah, they are called skinks. Yes.
I
I know
lucked into that, didn't I?
Dylan plays weekly, and Hugo, although being a fantastic player, one of the best in Australia, hasn't played in a while, so that could factor into it. We
Are
don't
you
know.
telling me this is the tortoise versus the hare?
Absolutely.
I'm cheering on Dylan. All right, next one. Table 3. All right, so Max with and this is not original artwork, apologies, couldn't find a dragon of the dark gods, so Max's dragons of the dark gods, as I'm calling them, against Mark's demon legions. So Mark's, as you'll see, army is truly legion because he has no characters, and this is for our 9th age championship, which Max won at ShireCon, and he's putting up on the line, so he's actually going to put it up each matchup. So if he wins, he holds on to it, and then we'll see if he puts it up for the next one as well. The wrestling fan that he is, I'm very happy he's got the belt. Although he hasn't changed the name on it, still says James Knight on it. It's like he's parading around with James Knight's as a trophy.
Yeah.
Table 3, alrighty. So Max he's got his nasty Lord on Dragon, which has got watch out for if you feed it things, because it's got Glory Hunter, it can challenge, it's got the trophy rack, so it can gain additional ranks. He can kill out characters and gain additional ranks, so it is very nasty. He's got all the buffs on there. Avoid it if you can, shoot it if you can. It does have a weird stone, so for 1 turn, it can get hard target 2. So again, super killy, super annoying. 880 points right there. He has got some backup. He's got a Lord on a Sky Wheel who is now kitted out pretty well as well. He's got a bunch of magic, so Max prided himself on having no magic and no shooting, and now he's got magic, so that's great. It's pretty effective too. It's really cheap. It's Crown of the Wizard King and Dark Prelate, so he basically gets an Apprentice spell and he gets 2 bound spells. Pentagram Pain, which is a pain, especially for MSU and MMU armies, and Blood Curse, which is a fantastic debuff because he's all high toughness, high armor. So Blood Curse is going to neg 1 strength and neg 1 AP. He's got 2 mid-sized warrior blocks with the hit me, I dare you shields. So, hit them, he dares you. And they've also got Gluttony and Greed, so he's got a bit of a combo there, which is going to come into effect, I'm sure. He's got double chosen blocks, just small, but there's still 10 wounds on them and a lot of attacks. They've got a spike shield. One's got spike shields, one's got paired weapons, again with that Greed and Gluttony combo. So basically one is better at holding the line. Oh no, one has got, multiple shield choices, and one of them gets +1 strength with Gluttony. Alright, and just to be a pain, and Max has assured me that this is going to be written out of the book very soon when the updates happen later this year, but there is a triple Feldrak Elder. So really tough monsters, near 500 point monsters there. So he's got 3 of them. So they're going to be an absolute pain in the nuts. And he's got 5 Warhounds as well. Have you played against the Dragons?
I haven't, but I know Max took it just because everyone was saying, "Oh, monsters are not where it's at anymore. Now it's your big rank and file units." So he's like, "All right, fine, I'll show you. I'll take nothing but monsters," and he's smashing it.
It wouldn't be like Max to max things out, which was what his moniker was back in 8th edition, when he would always go for 6 charges. So we would just call him, he's Maximus, so he's got to do it. He's got to do max everything. So that's very strong. I think I've played it once or twice. I managed to win on objective by basically just blocking everything as best as I could. I got a bit lucky with a few things. So it's real tough, and he's really good. He's our carryover champ. So let's see what the Demon Legions can do. So Mark has got it. I just love Mark's list. He's got some different sort of choices, and DL Demon Legions let you do this sort of thing. So triple Lemures.
Just want to say,
Yeah, go.
Chris, yeah, Mark is another one of those players where you're like, oh, you're going to let me do this weird thing. Well, I'm definitely going to do that weird thing. I don't have to take characters anymore. I don't have to take a general. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Whoever was there last year, I think it was there last year. Remember, he's got so much magic. He can't take all the dice from the pool because he had too much magic. I think that was last year. So he's gone no magic actually. Looking at this, so that's bizarre. He's got 21 Lemures, 20 Lemures, and they all have minimized leadership tests. So they're going to be very hard to move with Supernal, unless you absolutely make sure that they can't take a leadership test. I think that would mean winning on a 6 or more. Very tough to chew through. So they're defense 5, toughness 5, resilience 5, sorry. So yeah, they're probably just going to hold and give him time to maneuver his big heavy hitters. These are going to be really interesting. Triple Brazen Beasts, 4/4/4 with curved tusks. Now curved tusks means they get +1 strength, +1 AP, and when you roll a 1 to wound, they hit themselves. So, but that does bring them the strength 6 AP3 especially on the turn they charge. I think they get the strength 6. So very, very good. He's got 4 Clawed Fiends with +1 AP, so they've got AP3 and they're very fast. And 4 Claw Fiends again, same setup. One with a Muso. Muso is going to be really useful on Clawed Fiends because they're really fast, so they can outflank and outmaneuver and take out your light troops. So again, people who haven't played in a little while, remember Musos are probably most useful in terms of flanking units because they can stop other flanking units that have light troops from basically marching. They can't march if you're close to a unit with Muso. So, although I do think someone put Musos in all their units and wasn't sure. We will see in a second. Then he finishes it off with double Eidolons. Eidolons are the shooting units. They actually got accurate as well with that upgrade, so pretty nasty shooting. I think it might be 2 shots per model hitting on a 3+ with accurate or 4+ with accurate, so it's actually quite good. And they will be pretty maneuverable as well. He's also got Furies with hard targets, so they are even harder targets than before. Any thoughts on how this one might go? It's an interesting one, Tim. Any thoughts first?
It's hard to go against Max because he's sort of been pushing aside anyone who faces him. Other than sounds like you, Chris. Well done. Yeah. Again, I know Mark is playing regularly against Dylan in Newcastle, so he'd have a fair bit of practice under his belt. So with similar lists to this, so
yeah,
it'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one, but the primary, I don't know. I think he's got a lot of scoring. Like that is a lot of scoring on Mark's side, and tough scoring as well. So I think the primary could be a toss up, but Max has got a lot of speed as well.
You don't want that belt to be given up round 1. You want it to be like round 4. Mm-hmm. That's when the belt should change hands, round 4. So yeah. For that narrative, we'll have to go with Max.
That's it. Believe in the narrative. I think the monsters will be tricky, but yeah, the demons have got some real hard hitters. Just not sure how they pair up against the monsters. So yeah, Max again pushing the envelope with his monsters. Alrighty, so table 4. This one makes perfect sense. This one is KOE versus EOS. So the humans are all battling each other. They can't get their shit together, so the Empire versus the Kingdom of Equitaine. So Kieran's got the Super Duke, as I'm going to name him. Super Duke has basically got 5 attacks with the Lance, but the Lance, if it charges, retains its strength bonus. And he has the best, I'm going to call it right now, the best saves in the game. He's got a 1-up that rerolls 1s on armors and a 4-up Aegis. So he's a pain in the ass. I mean, I find that most people don't even touch characters anymore. As soon as you put a save on them, it's not worth throwing hits into them. And he's got multi-wounds against Resilience 5, so I can't wait for Kieran to play against Max. Who knows? Who knows? That would be a great narrative, wouldn't it, Tim? Just to get the
Yes,
Super Duke fighting the dragon in round 4.
for sure.
I mean, I'm
Yep,
pretty sure
let's do
Kieran
it.
won one of our events, didn't he? One of the Grave Calls events. The first one, maybe?
Yes, he did. Last year. No, I think
No,
last year's. I
last
think he
year?
did.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
So, who knows? We might have the carryover Grave Calls
that was
champ versus the Shiacon champ. That'll be awesome.
that was with his warriors. So yeah, we'll see how.
Oh, of
Hopefully,
course. Yes, his
he's
Karkadan. Yes, his big Karkadan
yes,
block.
just ran
Um,
over top of everything.
oh yeah, sure did. The master, he's got a master druidism, so he can and he's also got a folk heroes. So basically, it's a cheap BSB, but it can actually bring back wounds. So watch out for that in some of his more expensive night blocks. Really good. He's got a big unit of archers, 3 small units of Knights of the Realm. I love that because you can kind of combo charge them, and they've got a decent amount of, with banners, they've got a decent amount of static res for knights. He's got a large unit of quest knights, or Knights of the Quest. They basically pick an enemy type of unit, and looking at Matt's army, you can see he does have double Imperial Guard. So basically, this unit can say, I select, we're on a quest to defeat the Imperial Guard, and they get Zeal, they get Lethal Strike against all Imperial Guard in the army. So that's kind of awesome. I think he'd probably go for that, but there's also, as you'll see in a moment, some knights he might want to pick. They've got Banner of Roland, so that means they get, I believe it's the 5 up against shooting or something like that. And a Bannerant, so they basically have a good amount of static res. And he has a Knights of the Court unit. Knights of the Court are just kind of slightly better Realm Knights. So I know we're going to look at the army and go, which Knight block is which? But realistically, there's only one that's actually different. The other one is just, slightly more attacks on the charge, but still hit very hard. I'm not sure how many tokens he has. I think he's only got 2 or 3 tokens for his special, the name escapes me now, the blessing tokens to use. I think he's only got 1 or 2, but guaranteed he's going to use it when he pulls a big charge off against those Imperial Guards with shields, because you get to ignore parry with one of those. So that's going to be awesome.
Amazing.
He's backed it up with double Pegasus Knights, who are tanky as hell as well. They're 2 up save flying unit, and a yeoman block. Sorry, Tim, you wanted to add something there?
Oh no, I was just going to say these two are absolute hobby heroes. They're putting together all the terrain and all the boards for the event, which are looking spectacular. But yeah, it's big thanks to Matt, first of all, for organising it all. And then I think Pinky's come in with a beautiful board himself. So we're going to have beautiful themed boards thanks to these two guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll get heaps of photos of that, and we'll show you guys in the review. And yeah, gosh, some of the work in progress. It's looking fantastic. Alrighty, Empire Sunstall. So Matt is running basically his tried and tested sort of list. He's got the Wizard on the engine with the Winter Cloak, so he's got a save. Commander with the Lighter Sunstall, who teams up with the Prelate. The Prelate and he go in the big block of Knightly Orders, so that's 15 models with the Cavalry picks. Yep, a lot of buffs, pretty tanky. He's also got 2 marshals who send out basically leadership and order buffs across the entire army. So it's really cost effective, gives out heaps of buffs and orders. Core is his state marksman with the stand and shoot and accurate. They'll get accurate from, I think, one of the orders, and they'll have stand and shoot as a reaction, but also stand and shoot base. So once you charge them, because of that pennant, they're gonna hit you on a 4 or something. It's gonna be ridiculous. He's got 2 detachments with halberds, so that's pretty good for counter charges. They're gonna kind of protect the knights and the 2 large blocks of Imperial Guard. The Imperial Guard have great weapons, one with great weapons and one with shield, so you literally have the hammer and the anvil there. Followed up by, these guys can be pretty annoying. The Writers with the brace of pistols, so they're pretty neat. They can charge and do pistol shots as well. And Steam Tank, which hits on a 3+ with its cannon. So Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, how do
Get
you
out of the
think
way,
this?
knights.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Yeah. Exactly. 3 knights a turn. Um, I think the AP is only on the first shot, but still, it's pretty nice. What do you think about this one, Tim?
What is Kieran's answer to the steam tank there? What's he gonna
Um, I
do to get rid of it?
don't know. Besides Knights Charge, Knights, Knights Charge. That's is not really the magic. I don't think does anything to it. Um, yeah, his
Take
magic won't be
knights
able to
around the
touch
flank.
it. Yeah, I think it's going to be basically, it's going to be combo charge it, ignore it. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
block it up with the Pegasus Knights or something to that ilk. Because as good as the Empire's armor is, Kieran's armor is just as good, if not better. So this is going to be. I just rough predict. I think there's going to be a fair amount of models still left on the table because it's just got so much armor and. I don't know, just looking across the army list, I'm not sure if there's that much AP, unless it's on the charge, obviously, from Kingdom of Equitaine.
yeah.
It's going
Definitely
to be really interesting.
Kieran could choose the charges here.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Hmm.
whether or not he's going to be able to punch through those big blocks, like the big Imperial Guard blocks, that'll be the answer. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the Knights of the Quest are really the key thing here because they're the unit that could possibly break through
Yeah,
Imperial Guard. I'd wager that he puts his Duke and Folk Hero actually in the court unit. Um, so the quest, yeah, because the questing knights, you don't want to take attacks away from them. They've got that, as I said, that zeal and lethal strike, so that's really awesome. I think 2 attacks as well. Yeah, Matt does have heaps of synergy. He's got the arcane engine, so he's got +2 defense, +2 offense. Um, Counter charges, shooting galore. Yeah, I have no idea who's going to come out on top in this one, but it'll look amazing as well. So we'll make sure we get some awesome shots because I just love when the medieval themed armies match up. It's a true classic. All right, so we're almost there. Last table. Um, Myself with my Warriors of the Dark Gods versus Freddy with his Infernal Dwarves. I haven't seen the Infernal Dwarves around for a while, so I can't wait to catch up with Freddy
yeah.
and find out what on earth everything does.
Shout
But
out to Freddie for making
mm,
it. Yeah, he hasn't played in a while as well, so it's good to see him support the local event. Good on you, Freddie.
yeah, it's always fantastic to see him. I love coming up just purely to catch up with everybody. It's just a plus that we're playing games. And I do like our format because our format, which we kind of started with ShireCon, lets you catch up with people as well. So here we go. This is going to be great. He's got Infernal Dwarves, which I haven't played in ages since Matt was using them. And I'm kind of probably having my little swan song with the Warriors of the Dark Gods. I've seen a few changes. I've run them a few times. I've trimmed them down in a few respects. I'm going to have a full-on video, which after this event, I can actually finish. So there'll be an old list, new list, reflecting on my journey. Then I'm going to be turning my attention to some other armies. So I'm bringing Chosen Lord who flies on foot, so he's a little bit of a sneaky little bugger. His flaming weapon will probably hurt him in this matchup because of Infernal Dwarves. But yeah, he can fly around and be a bit of a pain against single targets. But looking at Freddy's army, it doesn't look like he's got a lot of single targets. So he'll probably stay in my block of warriors and plug away instead of flying about. Sorcerer, Master Sorcerer, this guy I've found to be really awesome. Master Sorcerer on Occultism, I get +1 to any damage spells, and I got +6 range, so he can actually do a fair amount of decent range damage as well. Paired weapon block of warriors with Gluttony and Zealots, so this is a bit of a trend at the moment. I didn't realize it was a trend, but these guys have 3 attacks from the front 2 ranks, so that's really cool. Hopefully they'll do some damage. Some Fallen, they're just a bunker. Warhounds for chaff. 10 Warrior Knights with Sloth, so they have a ward save. They've got a 6-up, and if you hit them with AP 10 or whatever you call it, it turns into a 5-up. 6 Forsworn, so these guys have Damnation. They've also got a Bound spell Hellfire, so they can turn into what do you call them? Gribblies. They can turn
Uh,
into Chaos Spawn if they lose combat.
yeah,
So
that's right. And how'd you go for models for those? Looking forward to that.
yeah, we've got the Blight King, Putrid Blight Kings, and I've got also got some cool models from Weird Miniatures. So I've got some photos up of them on
Awesome.
Facebook
That'll be great.
as well.
Awesome.
Feldrak Elder, Forsaken one. I love the Forsaken one. He's really annoying to deal with since he's unstable and stubborn. Battle Shrine for some magic support. So I have a heap of magic in this list, but still I think only channel 3.
Love
But
the
yeah, a
Battle
lot of
Shrine.
magic. And finally, just some flayers with throwing weapons, so they're really fast and can flank. Now, Tim, I think neither you or I are specialists in infernal dwarves, but we will try our best. It looks like he's got 2 prophets. One of them is the alchemy mage. The other one is a prophet of Lugar. So one is just, I think, is just the straight up wizard, but the Lugar one must have some sort of combat buffs. He's got 2 laws with essence of the free mind, and he's got paired weapons with touch of greatness. So he's definitely going to have a little bit of damage potential and support potential there. He does have a bull, so the bull of Shamut. So he does have a vizier on a bull flying about with the dragon's brew. That's pretty cool. Shield breaker, infernal weapon. That's nice. He's got a BSB with some defensive stuff and some buffs. Infernal warriors with the blunderbusses. So he's got the big old blunderbuss block, backed up by some vassals with spear and shield, vassals with bows, and then we've got the double immortals. Immortals are awesome. I think the rule is you can't win them on better than a 4+. So that will be pretty tricky. They got spears, so that's also going to be really nice damage potential or AP. Disciples of Lugar, double gunnery team. So he's got 2 gunnery team with rocket battery. From what I remember, if they're a gunnery team, I think they go in units, or they're kind of little solo. They're only got a shorter range, but the infernal artillery is long range, and that is a naphtha thrower, which is going to be really nasty against anyone who's got elves or anything like that. For me, it'll probably be nasty against the flayers. I'm going to have to try and keep them away from that as well. So yeah, he's got a lot of ranks. I don't. I got a lot of heavy hitters. He's got a lot of sort of shooting combo. He's got a good combo with things. So no idea. This is going
Other
to be
than the
great.
pool, is there much mobility there?
Not a lot. He does
No.
have one flyer. I have one
Yep.
flyer, but I have a distinct sort of movement advantage in this. I've got quite fast knights, and the elder's pretty fast. But yeah, I think this will be really interesting. I think he's got alchemy, so I won't be throwing my chosen lord out anywhere in front of that. So yeah, I love how he's got 3 laws. He's got 3 laws in this army: occultism, alchemy, and pyro. So he's got a tool for every army. So well done, well
I think he
done.
said he was off to Office Works to print out some magic cards. So yeah,
Fantastic. So that's table 5. But our buybuster Timmy, can you show us what you are bringing?
sure. So I've gone with the Dread Prince, who's my general. He's the Beastmaster type, battle line hero with the 18-inch sort of bubble there on the dragon with the great weapon with elven finesse, and the Hide of Hubris. Love the Hide of Hubris. It's a great weapon.
Really good.
I had extra points left over, so I went with 2 Silent Assassins.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they're good at killing characters, but also they can be quite good at sort of, if you fail that charge and you know you're going to get charged in your
Mm-hmm.
next turn, they can be
Mm-hmm.
sort of a little bit of a deterrent or a chaff, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, a little bit. Um, so the 20 Temple Militants, and then 3 lots of the Selexian Spears, because spears are basically the best weapon you can get on core troops.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dread Elves are all about the combined charge for that, that
Mm-hmm.
maximized charge range and the resolute turn one and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 Gorgons, love them.
They
They're
throw
they're
a heap of
fantastic.
attacks out, don't they? They got a lot of attacks as
They
well.
do,
What,
and the
4 each?
and the petrifying stare or petrifying gaze, whatever they have. Yeah. Yeah, they're not that tough, but then they have supernal as well. So yeah, and they're quick. They're like movement six as well. The Judicators, which are always reliable, the Obsidian Guard, and then I've got the Divine Altar, which gives everyone sort of fury. 10 Harpies, just because in my brain I can never sort of handle more than one unit of chaff, and the 10 Harpies gives you that unit where they can be a decent sort of flank charge, or they can give you that decent sort of sweeping attack as well.
Yeah, I was
And then
just
the
about to
double
say, yeah,
Hydra.
10 Harpies is there for sweeping attack, 100%.
For sure, for sure. Yes, but you don't want to put your light cav too close to them.
Oh, no way.
So yeah, I grabbed I looked at there was an Italian tournament and a few people took Dark Elves and they all took very similar lists. You either had the triple Hydra or you had the double Hydra and the dragon. So yeah, sort of grabbed it from that list and then probably with those extra 500 points sort of actively made it worse. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I've had one practice game with it against Lee, who's another great guy from our group who's
Hmm.
was taken to Dread Elves as well, and I was able to
Hmm.
win that one. But Lee did send his master down the whole first turn, so that helped out a bit.
Oh, of
But
course. Poor Lee.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, if I do get a game, there's very barely any shooting. I think only the assassins and the Hydra's breath weapons is the only shooting, and there's no magic, so it's usually a pretty quick game, and it should be a fun game. Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to wear that. I didn't even realize Hydras do have Res 6 now, right? They've got Res 6 as opposed to Res 5, which they had previously. So they're super defensive with the armor
Yeah,
and regen and Res 6 now. So I think you've got, what, Ultra Nab as well. Does the Ultra Nab
yeah.
have attached? Does it have to come in a
Yes.
unit?
So, yeah, I'm going to put that in the
You can put it in
Obsidian
any
Guard
unit
just
pretty much,
because
right?
that's right. Yeah, yeah, I can change it up. But yeah, you're right about the Res 6 and the 4 plus regen. But
Ooh,
yeah, just the Obsidian Guard, they've got the rally around the flag 6 inches. So if I can make that block a bit bigger, it sort of
yep,
increases that rally around the flag bubble. So
yep.
yeah,
Similar to the Feldrak Elders units that have just got a really good base stat line now are seeing a lot of use, right? You improve that stat line, the Hydras are going to see play. Great. So MMU with a dragon. Again, awesome to see another dragon. I think that Hydra Hubris, remind me, that's multi-wound 2 on the first round of combat and something else? Something
yes,
else.
it's hatred and
Oh,
multi-wound too.
wow.
Yeah,
Awesome. And you got +1 to wound, right? Because he's a prince.
yes, that's
Oh,
right.
that's fantastic. Plus Beastmaster
So
combo.
yeah,
Oh, don't forget that Beastmaster maximize stomp thing. That's going to be awesome. It does have that, doesn't it?
absolutely. It does,
Oh,
yes, that's
so
right.
good.
And his mighty agility 8 does go down to agility 7, but I think I
Hmm.
can live with agility 7.
I'm looking forward to it. So that's all the list. That's fantastic. We'll just quickly go through the rounds and finish it off. So round 2, front lane clash, hold the center. That one's going to be very straightforward. On Saturday Arvo, Sunday morning, we've got bottleneck and hidden agendas where your secondary, and I know a lot of people have got those secondary cards. I've got to go and cut mine up right now. Um, are going to become the primaries essentially. So the secondary becomes the primary for hidden agendas. And then lastly, on the Sunday Arvo, we've got Spearhead, which I've played so much of Spearhead. Um, is an interesting one with Breakthrough. That's very good combo there. So I love that. So just to
Yeah,
finish off again, we've got events upcoming, but I might just thank Tim again for organising. This is his third one organising, and it's fantastic to have a sort of a organizer who has links to the area as well, just to keep that sort of community up there going. It's been great to see our community kind of continuing on, even though we are a small community. We're still chugging along. We're still running events. There's lots of hobby going on. So can't wait to see you, Tim, see everyone, and take some great photos as well. So Brendan's our
yeah, it's gonna be
support with that.
it's gonna be an awesome weekend where we're coming up on the Friday, having an Airbnb. Yeah, Jack's coming up from Melbourne. It's gonna be an awesome event. Also, yeah, big shout out to Kendall and the Newcastle Games Club for letting us be part of their Castle Assault weekend. Yeah, they've always been really accepting of us to come
Mhm.
in and use that venue. So it's fantastic and absolutely fantastic support from Kendall and the club. Thank you.
It is, isn't it? There was a point where we weren't sure that we were going to be able to, but we threw our hat in the ring, and they were accommodating. So, so psyched.
Yes.
Again,
It's well now on
hopefully it
his
won't
way.
be
Thank
the
you, Kendall.
last one up there, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, right?
Yeah. We'll see.
So just a couple of other things before we finish off. So thanks so much if you followed us to the end here. Upcoming, we got Moab, so we'll have a one-dayer in the Shire. We'll go back to a one-dayer. Hopefully we can get 6 players for that. I will keep advertising that with everyone. 4th to the 6th on the October long weekend. It's also a convention, so even if you can't come down and buy and sell and check everything out, it's a really good event that's been going for a very long time as well. It's got a good tradition to it. And we will hopefully have that old list, new list video out after this event, with sort of my final Warriors of the Dark Gods musings. And maybe towards the end of the year, we're going to get some Season 2 news. That's going to be interesting because I think, Timmy, we could probably say that we have been playing a decent amount, not a heap, since we play online and things like that. But Season 2, I'm actually kind of itching a little bit to see what they're doing with Season 2 now. I'm at the point where I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
absolutely.
ready for something to be changed or adjusted a little bit.
Yeah, they've probably had like plenty of time now, so I'm sure like it'll be even better than season one because they would have had so much experience and feedback from this first season. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
And to be honest, I really liked season one with the ancient ruins and all that sort of stuff. It's really cool.
awesome. I think the guys probably still have their ancient ruins little cheat sheets as well, from last time, right? So hopefully we'll remember it. Some pretty useful things there. And it was really encouraging to see ETC, from a list perspective. You had a huge range of lists, so that was and the ones that were really common, I'm sure they're the ones that are going to get targeted with any updates. So good to see a huge amount of variation, because that means things are going to be good for us as well. Us sort of more cash players, we get to use everything and it'll be fun. And again, thank you very much for listening to the Part-Time Warlords. Please follow us on Facebook and all of that. Follow us on YouTube, especially if you're coming to the event. If I find out you're not following this page, I will hassle you. Um, so again, thanks, Tim. Have a good one.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having us.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening to the Part-Time Warlords.